Hello. It's starting to look like me sitting next to a window talking about council things is going to be my thing for the next little while. So why break what is a very early habit? And let's talk about youth provision. A common refrain we get is that there isn't anything for the youth to do in town. Once you start looking into it, you find actually there is quite a lot for the youth to do in town, but it's not without its limitations. Some of it you have to pay for, and obviously not everyone can afford to do that. Some of it's linked to faith-based provision, and some people aren't comfortable with that. A lot of it just stops over the summer holidays, for example. And you can start to see, when you start adding all these different points together, that for quite a few people there could be a real absence of anything that they view as viable. And Wallingford Town Council has some provision in this mix. We are at least the primary funder, if possibly the sole funder, can't remember now, of the Wygod Way Family Centre. We fund a part-time youth worker through the Beacon Project who does targeted youth provision where it's really needed. But it's also not directly our responsibility. If you have a look at what we affectionately refer to as the responsibility donor, you will see that youth provision is the responsibility of Oxfordshire County Council. And they do quite a bit already with the schools, for example. And I met someone just the other day who, again, does targeted provisions on those most at risk. What Wallingford Town Council has, the flexibility, if you will, lies in an area of our responsibility called to be responsible for the well-being of the town and its inhabitants. And what shape that takes can be a little bit more flexible than it can be at other areas of local government. I've been working with Train Youth Project, currently based in Didcot. And I'm excited to say that from next Tuesday, we're going to start the expansion of their provision. And I would welcome you to go and check out their website and their social media, and I'll put links to that to see what they do at the moment. But expand that out into Wallingford. And it's not going to be everything all at once. We're going to start off, obviously. We were very conscious that the priority was to get something in place before the summer because, as I said earlier, there's a real absence of provision in the summer. So we wanted to make sure there was something here. And I'll put, again, a link in the comments about what they're doing, when they're doing it. It's going to average out about 2 times a week, I think, at this stage. But it's hopeful that will grow over time. I've got a bit of an ask for people. Firstly, if you see the people from Train out and about, please stop them, say hello, get to know them, find out a bit more about them and what they're hoping to do. If you have children, I think that I'm mainly aiming for the 11 to 18-year-old bracket, like a secondary school kind of bracket, I suppose. Tell them about them. Let them know what they are, what they're doing, what they're hoping to provide. But if you really are interested in this area, and if you have a bit of time, then I would ask you to consider either A, volunteering. They work well, the youth workers, with volunteers, people from the local area, people with local knowledge. It really does add to their knowledge base, their skill set, if you will, having that on board. So they would welcome you, I'm sure. And the other thing is looking at the trustees, this more strategic side of this, the governance side of this, making sure that everything's working well. Now, if you're interested in either of those latter 2 points, please do get in touch with me. I can have a chat with you myself about my own experiences in this, or I can redirect you onto the appropriate people. No obligation. Why not have the chat and just see if there's maybe something that you could do to help? Looking longer term, I'm absolutely delighted that there's a separate conversation going on that's linked in with all this. And there's a whole number of local community groups involved in that, looking at what's being provided, what's being introduced, how that fits in, how all the existing groups can fit into that jigsaw puzzle, if you will, and trying to move it from a point where essentially everyone's kind of working their own little silo and doing their own bit, and trying to create an overall picture and working out how these different groups can interact, can complement, can help. And that's really exciting too, because if we can add that all together, then we can see a more joined up thinking on that basis. Which leads me to my final point. With what we've been doing, seeking out what is available with the mapping of the existing provisions, we're going to be taking that and we're going to be updating our local community section of the Wallingford Town Council website. We're going to get all that up there, so make it easier for people to find what's going on, when it's going on, who it's appropriate for, so on and so forth. So keep an eye out for that. I'll post again once it's all up and running. But yeah, we're kind of trying to help facilitate this and move it forward. And I'm excited that I think we're on the right path. So I hope you're well. Take care of yourself, and I'll update you when I know more about it. Take care.